at the 2016 European Championship in Redouan, Spain, and yeah, the track looks really nice here. They've done some small changes to the track since the warm-up. They put some paving in the whip section right there, which I think is pretty good. Other than that, the track looks pretty similar. I think they didn't make any other changes to it. Surface looks a little bit brighter, to be honest. They put a little bit more sugar, I think, for the warm-up, in the line at least. We didn't have anything outside the line then. So they told me they put it all over the track this time, but it looks a little bit lighter, sugar. So I think the traction might be a little bit less, but I guess we'll see tomorrow. I think if you're standing down there, it's probably like 5-6 meters onto the top of the track, so it's quite big elevation changes here. But I think it's nice. It's one of my favorite tracks I've been driving on. The layout is really cool. A lot of 180s, to be honest, but yeah, my car worked good here at the warm-up, so I'm excited for this week.
Well, I'm a newbie here. I haven't actually driven around this track, or to be honest, I haven't got much information about it. So my initial thoughts are it looks awesome. Really, everything's presented really well. It's big, but everyone was making it kind of bigger than what it is. So it's actually quite a nice size, I think. It's good. But yeah, now I've got David next to me. I'm going to actually get him to help me around the track a little bit. So yeah, this is my first track walk, literally the first time I'm walking around it. So we're going to go down the stairs, which are quite colossal. These pavings are nice too.
Yeah, they didn't have that for the warm-up.
No.
So they just put it.
Is it concrete formed? I thought it was. My driveway used to be exactly the same as that, with patterns in. So yeah, I mean, this is the straight we were just talking about. As you can see, it's quite far uphill. But I mean, I guess because the cars are going like straight under you, it's hard to tell if they're slow or not. So I reckon the next bit looks relatively self-explanatory, but I'm going to try and guide us through this bit, just to see if I get it right. So when we tight to that, we're going to miss the fence. As David said, there wasn't a fence here for the warm-up, so I guess you could pop over that. But now it's going to hurt if you hit it, or at least stop your car. Phil's going backwards into a tabletop now. If he fell over, it'd be even more funny than what it would be. But so this up there looks relatively okay. I don't think this bit's going to cause too many people issues. Is that how it is, or is it deceiving?
No, I think this part of the track is okay because you have a great view over the sections here. The landing here, I think it looked a bit steeper at the warm-up, but I'm not sure. So you sometimes you came too close to the curb and then you got a bad line for the next hairpin right there. So you want to go kind of in the middle over this tabletop and then kind of get a tight out coming from this hairpin right here and have a good line into that one.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to run over there. I don't think we need to walk around it. We can jump over. We're not going to crash, hopefully. So a bit of wood here, so you can't cut that. Talking like general surface, to me, on the small videos that I've seen, it looks a little bit more almost dusty now. There's not a groove as such, but I suppose you can never tell. I heard it's been sugared, so I guess you can never tell till you run it the first time.
No, yeah, as I said before, from the looks, the surface looked a lot brighter this time. So I don't know if they ran on the track before they sugared it for the warm-up or not, but at the warm-up we had a very dark line in the line, so you really had a lot of traction in the line. But once you came outside the line, it was very, very loose. And now I think it looks like a little bit looser than when we arrived at the warm-up. But I think we're gonna have some grip anyway because it's quite hot here, and it would be a nice groove coming into qualifyings and everything. So.
Yep, cool. It's hot and it's very dry. Obviously, they don't have too much rain here. Lucky devils. So, yeah, we're not in England. England, it'd be lovely. It'd be mud. So then we're coming up here. I guess, again, it looks relatively okay. It looks like I shouldn't mess this bit up too much initially. But the next section is the one that kind of intrigues me because this jump section at the back, it looked really cool. And it looks dead straight. But it's kind of one of them sections that looks like you're going to think you're on the right line and then you fall off the side of the track.
Yeah, when you're standing up on the driver's stand, the line here in the back is very narrow from your view. So it's quite hard to line up the car, but once you get the first double here right, you can kind of see how close you are onto the outside. I prefer to stay on the outside. I saw some other cars at the warm-up staying in the middle or whatever. But then in the finals there were some bumps in between the jumps, so then for me the preferred line was on the outside. So and like what you can see is basically like 1 meter from the driver's stand or so. So it's quite narrow, but you really have to be patient on the first double to make to make all the jumps right.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like you kind of do the first one, get it nice. The second one you almost had to back off so you didn't over jump it.
Yeah.
So at least it took some talent to get it right, and that's what we need. I mean, it's not narrow back here, but it's not exactly wide for how far you are away from the driver's stand either. So obviously when you stood up there, it looks really narrow.
Yeah. Yeah, for the last tabletop here is kind of, you want to do a RC car scrub here. You want to come full power and then just hit the brakes right before you lift, and then you'll get a nice landing. And also you have to line up the car for the corner table right there, because you want to jump it, because that's the fastest way to go there. Yeah,
this is going to be our Mayfield section, our American driver section, I guess, where we're scrubbing as much speed as possible and using as much power between the two jumps. Yeah, and into the corner tabletop, which we seem to have quite a lot of these days, so it's good to master. I mean, this jump's breaking up a touch here. I don't know if you can see on the camera, it's just I mean, it's already kind of dusty, so it can kind of go one or two ways. It's either going to groove up and get better, or it's going to stay like that. And it's obviously dust, when it's like that, it creates bumps. And then people crashing there is going to make it worse too. Yeah. Same bit for this bit. Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, this part is, I mean, if you arrive too quick, you will end up here outside the line here. So you kind of...
I'm going to end up over there.
Yeah, you have to go way slower than you think over this corner table. But then the next section here, I saw some cars thinking that they could jump all the way up onto the other corner, yeah, on the top there. But that's not the way you want to do it. You want to just hit the downside of this jump and then kind of roll up there and then try to get a good line through the hairpin.
Yeah, I mean, this already initially for me, it's a lot steeper than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like up there, it just looks pretty flat.
Yes.
But actually, this is kind of like 5 foot down here, like almost 2 meters down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty steep.
So if you stand here now, you can see the elevation of the top of the track is very high up there, and you can't really see much at all.
No, you can just see a few lanes, and then that whole section we just walked is not visible from right here. So yeah, it's way above our heads.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
You're taller than me, but
yeah, I'm not sure I was gonna be for the mechanics. I don't know how much they see from there, but yeah. I guess.
Yeah, they don't need to see anything. Right, so yeah, we're into a nice hairpin here, and then coming back. I mean, this section to me just looked like there wasn't really one particular line. It was just get down these kind of humps fast.
Yeah, there's no really way to jump this one in the double or anything. It's just kind of just keeping the consistent throttle, and then push too much over these two, because then you will mess up the next small tabletop here. But yeah, it feels almost like it's flat down these two rolls here. Then you want to kind of stay on the outside here as well, and try to get a good drive up to the step up concrete now, as it is. Before it was a dirt step up, and it was blown up by the mains. So this would be a little bit better, I think. The cars were flying all over the place there, so it looks like they've done a really good job for this one.
Yeah, now we can really see our pattern concrete, because you see it's smooth on the way up, and then they started the pattern. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm impressed with that already anyway. So yeah, this isn't going to blow out, obviously. So it looks, I mean, on the video I saw it looked like the jump section up there was blown out a little bit. So it's good that I think they've done this, but it's a lot of work. Fair play to them.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like they've had some real workers here. So anyway, it's nice, and it's gonna be better for the racing, I think, because a lot of cars were crashing here, and it's going into the whoop section. So it would be nice to kind of have a line through there. It's very hard to see which speed you're coming to, because you're coming right towards you at the driver's stand, so you can't really see. And now it was even harder, I think, with the paving to see the jumps up there. But the way you want to go is really just taking at least at the warm-up I was doing a double, and then rolling the last one. I don't know if you have enough kick on this one.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a trial and error. Yeah. It's, again, I think they could almost do a white lines on the top of each jump, so you know where they are, because it looks like they're going to blend into each other. Yeah. But I guess we can't complain too much. So
good
And then we come into another scrub downhill section, which looks like it's going to wear a bit of tyres. This looks like it's going to be quite difficult for us to walk down even.
Yeah. It looks like as they put the concrete on top here, it looks like it's pretty easy to fall inside the track as well now. But yeah, at least they have done something to the concrete here that makes it probably gonna be a little bit more grippy.
Yeah. Wear them tyres.
Yes.
There's a nice kind of step off here. I know that ape scales ain't going to feel that. I'm thinking more temp scale there.
Yeah, I mean, at the warm-up, it was dirt all over the track, so going down this hill, it was completely blown out as well, and the holes were really deep, and it was super hard to line up the car for this section right here, as we're standing in. You kind of think that it's going straight from the driver's stand, but you actually have to turn way more than you think you have. And you want to stay as close to the inside of the first turn as well, to get a good line into this one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem for a lot of guys that haven't been here before. It's just how much you have to turn when something looks relatively straight up there. And this next bit was something that I thought resembled that quite well, because up there, the video I watched, it looked almost straight. But now I'm looking straight up the barrel of the gun here, and it's a big turn right.
Yeah, at the warm-up, I think everybody in the first heat would hit the fence on the inside, because everybody thought it was a straight line going up to the hairpin up there. But yeah, you had to turn, as you said, the wheel way more to the right than you think. And you can't arrive going up too quick either, because then the nose is going to lift and you're going to lose steering. You're going to hit the fence on the outside instead. So you have to find a good balance of the throttle and the steering right here. It's a tricky section where you can gain or lose a lot of time.
Yeah, see, I didn't think about the elevation going up and then getting the nose down, you see. I've learned something. This is why everyone should track walk. I mean, the 12 guys in that first race at the warm-up obviously didn't do what we're doing. And maybe that's why you won, huh?
Yeah, I was basically watching all the first few heats going around the track at the warm-up, and once I got out here, I knew kind of what I have to do, and yeah, it felt pretty good directly. So it will be interesting to see this week.
Yeah, we can watch me as well. I might hit that fence a few times, even though we've said that. So yeah, up into a kind of berm, I guess. I guess that's just self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, there's a berm, but I didn't really use it. Yeah, you might go like a meter wide around the curb, but you don't really go up to the berm because you have so much grip anyway, so you don't need to use it really.
Yeah. So moving on down. Is this the start finish? This green, the green things?
Right here.
Right. So this is our start and finish, which I guess kind of a strange place.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's right in between. I think if you have a flame out right here, I think you won't gain any time if you go in, but you won't lose as much as you would have done if the loop were in the beginning of the straight or something like this. So yeah, it's a little bit weird place.
Yeah. I guess almost like Italy last year, where it was, I think, or more for the warm-up, it was kind of in the middle of the track, wasn't it? And then you could still kind of cut and get away with it almost at certain points. You had to be lucky when you cut, really. I'll tell you what, this bit looks really cool. From what I've seen, this looks like it's going to be one of my favourite bits.
Yeah, as well here, you think that the line is way straight, and then then it is. You have to turn way more to the right here as well. A lot of cars are hitting this piping here on the outside. But when you arrive here, you want to arrive pretty close to these pipes anyway, because the car is going to move towards the outside before coming into the hairpin. But you want to hit the brakes right before you lift off, and you're going to fly just like a couple of centimeters above the hill, top here of the jump, and you want to try to almost hit the curb down there, because it's pretty loose on the tiles here. So you want to get a good line around the corner and not lose too much time on the outside here.
Cool, so we're going to Scandinavian flick into here, are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, obviously this is still going downhill too. So if there's not much grip, you're forever losing it as you go down. Did you notice what's more grippy, the grey or the red brick?
I always stayed on the grey one, so I can't really tell.
There you go. See, we could fly it into the red and pop wheelies out of there. You never know. So then another berm. It looks almost carbon copy of the one that's up there. But yeah.
Yeah, this one you don't really use it at all either. It's just here for a nice looking. I don't know, but yeah, you have so much grip. At least at the warm up, I think you're gonna have quite a good grip here as well. So you wanna come really close to the curb, I think, and then just jump down here. You want to do a triple, and then I don't know, some cars. I was doing a a long jump on the tabletop and landed right into the corner in the qualifiers. But then for the mains, I took it a bit easier and I landed on the downside. And I don't think it's quite similar. So you don't really gain or lose any time if you're doing either.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, if we jump further, you have a tendency to crash as well. And another thing to look for.
On the first lap in the mains.
That's the one lap that I watched this morning. So yeah, you learn from that. But as you can see, another thing we need to think about is there's only going to be 12 marshals. It's a big old track for 12 marshals, so there's no one near this corner anyway if this is where the marshal's sitting. So
yeah, exactly. For the warm-up, I don't think it was a marshal that marshaled my car. It was some spectators standing down there. So
I hope you bought him a beer anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, if you wanna crash, you wanna do it on the right place, because otherwise it's gonna take a lot of time for the marshals to get there.
Yep. So top tip of the day: if you're gonna crash near one of the concrete tubes. If you're gonna flame out, try and do it after you cross the line. And don't crash in that corner, right, David?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good sum up of the day.
So, cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. We're just going to climb up this straight, and we'll see which one of us is the fastest walker. And take it easy.